Stretching 18,000 kilometers, China's coastline boasts abundant resources and diverse ecosystems. It is a chef's paradise overflowing with fresh ingredients. Here, people gather, farm, and fish, braving waves, facing all the dangers head-on. All in pursuit of a delicious, fresh taste that doesn't break the bank. Along the country's eastern coast, locals have a name for this beloved taste: little seafood. In early spring, the sea breeze is crisp and cool. Small wooden boats have come to rest along the shore. Old Lou and his crew are preparing to set sail. His old wooden boat can't handle rough waters. It's the tides that dictate when and where they can work. This ancient style of fishing with its thousand-year legacy lives on even now. Using two 6-meter bamboo poles and a huge net that opens and closes like a mouth. They operate a simple lever system to lower the net gracefully into the water. This tool, called dowsing, is a humble relic from the past. In today's world of industrial fishing, it's a living fossil. Sanmen Bay sits on the east coast of Zhejiang. 20 years ago, large yellow croaker filled these waters, making it a staple on every dinner table. Now, it's become a rare catch. One boat, a pair of hands. A day of hard work, all to feed the family. This simple tradition is known as the little seafood hunt. Whatever lands in the net, it's all part of the little seafood bounty.
Quick, fish in the net.
Pull it up.
After hours of waiting, Old Lou finally gets his reward. Umami, right up there with sweet, sour, salty, and bitter, is one of the 5 basic tastes. It's hard to put into words, but absolutely craveable. The magic comes from glutamate. As the base of MSG and chicken bouillon, glutamate appears in high concentrations in seafood. Bringing out and preserving that pure umami is what makes the best little seafood dishes shine. Pufferfish is rich in collagen and bursts with umami flavor. Meitong fish, or big head croaker, has dense, buttery flesh. Tofu fish, soft as water, silky as cream, really does melt in your mouth. No matter the flavor or texture, these gifts from the sea have a way of turning any meal into something lively and unforgettable. June marks the start of the fishing ban in the East China Sea. Fishing boats must stay ashore. But families still need to put food on the table. At first light, Lin Ping races out with her father. The tide is coming in early today, and they have little time to lose. Sanmen Bay, facing east to the open sea, is dotted with islands and reefs. Just a few hours after the tide pulls back, a hidden community beneath the waves is revealed. Barnacles. Tiny creatures clinging to the rocks, secrete a strong cement for firm adhesion, while their lime shells are hard and razor-sharp. Because of those shells, barnacles are often mistaken for shellfish. But they're actually crustaceans. Much closer to shrimp and crabs. Beyond barnacles, the rocks are home to a whole collection of shellfish and snails. As the tide rushes in and out, there's only a fleeting window. And Lin needs to make the most of it. Little seafood covers a wide array. Fish in the sea, mudflat crabs, and rock-clinging shellfish, etc. Shellfish and snails, in particular, star on dinner tables all year long. The unique umami of shellfish isn't only from glutamate and guanosine monophosphate but primarily from succinate. So many flavor compounds work together, giving little seafood its irresistible umami punch. The reason we can't resist it is the explosion of umami as soon as it hits the pan, so complex, rich, and deeply satisfying. Unlike their bigger luxury cousins, little seafood is small, plentiful, and plain on the outside. But nothing beats the flavor and unexpected delights they pack inside. They're also super affordable. Along the coast, little seafood is the people's most beloved everyday feast. With little seafood, no one has to worry about going hungry. A fresh catch is always within reach. Barnacles carpet the rock, being roasted repeatedly until heat alone cooks them through. It's a reward just for our seafood hunters. A plump, juicy bite that tastes like the ocean itself, best eaten piping hot. No extra seasonings or fancy techniques needed. Simplicity brings out their unmatched flavor. On the other side of the island, Lin's husband and brother are about to take on a new challenge. Where waves crash fiercely, boats can't even get close to shore. It takes teamwork and tools to harvest a real ocean delicacy.
You gotta climb to the steeper rocks if you want to find Buddha's hand. Search the flat spots, and you'll come up empty.
Buddha's hand, also called Guanin's hand, is a rare species of barnacle.
The deeper you go, where there's no sunlight, and people can't reach, the bigger and better they get, but they're getting rarer these days.
Of all the ways to harvest from the sea, collecting Buddha's hand is by far the riskiest. Accidental injuries are common. Now the tide's coming in. Teamwork has become even more crucial.
The waves are coming. Hurry, move. Here comes a big one. Come on, move.
It's their lucky day. They've gathered Buddha's hand worth 400 yuan in just 3 hours. Lin's making something special for the family. Quick stir-fry in vegetable oil, just a minute or two and it's ready. Each barnacle holds a springy morsel at its base, offering a satisfying chew. Lin's family has weathered many storms to reap the sea's bounty. For others, it means braving even longer, lonelier journeys far out on the water. The Zhoushan Fishing Ground is the largest of China's 4 great fishing grounds, once world-renowned for its incredible fish stocks. Since the fishing season started in August, Old Fong has spent over 100 days straight at sea. He's hoping this will be his final trip, before passing the helm to his son.
Most young people these days stay ashore. They hang out at home, pick up other jobs. Hardly anyone wants a life at sea now. Parents don't like it either. Nobody wants to risk their only child in this dangerous line of work.
Out in open waters, the weather can change in a heartbeat. Danger is always close by. By 10 p.m., the wind is howling, and rain pours down. But the work must go on as usual. At sea there's no such thing as a day off. Wind, rain and towering waves only make things harder. Tasks that would be simple on land become serious hazards on a narrow, slippery deck. White crab, also called swimming crab, is among China's most valuable crab catches. These days, the fish are few and far between, but there's plenty of crab and shrimp. In fact, many traditional fishing seasons have vanished from China's waters. The once great 4 fishing grounds now live on mostly in memory.
Back then fish were plentiful, we'd catch around 30 kilograms a day. Sometimes even over 50 if we got lucky. Now, there's almost nothing.
Now I see how sentimental my dad is. When I was a kid, I had no idea what life was like for him on the boat. Now that I'm here with him, I understand how hard it's been. He's worked himself to the bone to support us.
"5 years ago, old Fong switched from fishing to crabbing. Now the whole family's future depends on this crabbing boat. Early autumn is when the crabs are at their fattest. The snowy white meat is tender, with a sweet finish. For old Fong and his son, sharing a simple meal on deck is a rare moment of peace. Now they face 4 grueling hours of non-stop work. Machines speed up the catch. But most of the work still relies on skilled hands. Their special crab nets rarely let a white crab escape. Out here, the crew makes a simple assembly line with nothing but their hands. At just 20 years old, Fong Lintong must quickly master every last task. Crabbing boats rarely come back to docks. Instead, shuttle vessels deliver the fresh catch to shore. This is old Fong's last trip. Decades of hard labor have taken their toll. He no longer has the strength to go on. Next year, his son will become the new captain. Life as a captain means decades of loneliness and rough seas ahead. Between the sky and the sea out here, this deck will become his whole world. He'll need to learn how to manage the heavy labor and the endless, repetitive rhythm of life at sea. As wild stocks shrink year by year, traditional ways of fishing and aquaculture are quietly changing. People have made farms out of the sea, cultivating and breeding seafood of all kinds. China now produces 80% of global farmed seafood. Among all major fishing nations, China is the only country where farmed seafood has overtaken wild catches. It's 4 a.m., and the lights at Chopin Island dock are already glimmering. Fishermen crowd the pier, waiting for the ferry. Right after greater cold, Xipan Island enters its busiest time of year. Every year at this time, local fishermen gather for the demanding workout on the mudflats. After half an hour by boat, there are still over 10 kilometers left to cover. The cold is biting, And after 3 hours on the move, everyone is frozen to the core. They must find ways to warm up, as it's essential for getting the job done. Dig about 60 centimeters into the mud, and a whole hidden world appears. Razor clam, also called icheng, is a type of shellfish that lives in tidal flats. These creatures blend right in with the mud, making them difficult to spot. A broken shell means they won't fetch a good price. Only those with the patience and endurance become true masters of razor clam digging.
Exhausting. But I'm not afraid of hard work. Sure, it's tough, but getting paid makes me happy. It's honest money that supports my family.
Around the Lunar New Year, razor clams are in peak season. Over 1,000 seasoned diggers set out across Chopin's huge flats. Everything is still done by hand here, regardless of the size of the field, as machines cannot replace this work. Ding Sutsue leads a team of over a dozen clam diggers from her village. Her team is called the Sutsue crew. Besides working in the flats, Ding also takes care of her whole family. Her husband's in poor health, so she's become the pillar of the household.
Whether it's on land or at sea, she's good at everything. She does all the heavy lifting at home. She's the real boss. Takes care of everything. And that's no exaggeration. When it comes to clam digging, she's one of the best. No question.
The two of us are always joking around.
Razor clams are loaded with protein and reach peak plumpness in a year's time. They're delicious steamed, salt-baked, or simmered in a rich soup. The bite is firm, and the sweetness lingers. But that freshness fades fast. So if you're far from the coast, you'll likely never taste them at their best. Yet that fleeting, just out of reach flavor is exactly what makes little seafood so fascinating and irresistible. During the 3-month busy season, working 10+ hours a day without pause is the norm. The harsher the conditions, the sweeter the reward. Along China's endless eastern coast, bustling scenes like this play out, one year after another.